Hey everyone, welcome back. I am talking to Liz Grose of Cedar House Midwifery today, which is great because there's lots of mamas out there or lots of expectant parents that are experiencing a whole nother level of uncertainty during this time of COVID-19. And Liz also comes to Pilates. So it's nice for me to get to connect with Liz and see her face. It's great. Welcome, Liz.
Thanks.
So can you tell us about your practice and how you are practicing in the community and how that's changed a bit during these times?
Sure. So we actually just opened our doors last April. So we've been open for just over a year.
Mm.
And I work with four or three other midwives. So we're a team of four. Our biggest impact is that we really work to connect our moms to each other.
Mm.
So we've always run a postpartum baby group, which helps bring moms together in the community with their babies as an opportunity to connect them to each other, so that they feel a sense of uh, you know connection during the postpartum period. As we know, for some it can be such a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had to stop doing the postpartum baby group because of COVID-19. And that's been hard because now we know it's a whole different world for especially our new first time postpartum moms, um, that they're entering into motherhood quite alone, and not even with the support of family often because of the social distancing recommendations. So that's been difficult for us as a team, is
Mm-hmm.
figuring out ways to continue to the support for especially our new moms, and trying to be creative in terms of making sure the connection still happens.
Mm. Is there an option to do it virtually? Are you guys connecting? Like, are you able to do the group virtually at all?
Yeah, we can do the group virtually, and we're still exploring that right now. Um, but it's so hard getting, all the privacy and the permission and everything else. So
Mhm.
it's coming. Yeah, we're definitely kind of trying to figure out ways to make it happen.
Yeah, it's the technology piece is a big learning piece in itself. So a business like mine, who's not going, is not running right now, trying to learn how to get something out virtually. Right, that's a whole nother school of thought. And then a business like yours, which is still running and has to find the time or the resources to try to switch to virtual. It's a whole
Yeah,
nother world, really.
yeah, but it's definitely on the list.
Yeah, right.
I think we had to figure out first how to work in the world of COVID-19 and everything that, like safety, we had to work on the safety for our patients
Yeah.
first. And I feel like that's been figured out. So now the new piece is, how do we connect these new moms to each other in this
Mhm.
virtual platform?
Mhm.
And it's, I find too, like even for our clients, it's a big learning curve.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them aren't, they don't know what Zoom is, and it's
Mhm.
a whole new world for them. So
Mhm.
asking a new mom to learn a whole new um, form of media postpartum is sometimes asking a lot as well. So we
Yeah.
kind of want to make it easier for them, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of pieces for them to think about. And then the little baby brain nugget where your brain's like, what all the hormones?
Totally. Very.
Now, for a new mom or new parents who are expecting, um, is it safe? But like what is the shift around there? Like, I mean, I'm sure you get that question all the time. Like, what's the safest way to have a baby right now? Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're really lucky here. It's, for one, the hospital from the beginning just went into preparation mode. So that's been, and did a really great job. So the hospital feels really safe. The community feels safe because everyone's taking the social distancing recommendations to heart and practicing them well. So we're seeing that happen. And then for once, you go to the hospital and there's nobody there. So
mm,
our hospital is actually very, very quiet.
Mm.
almost strangely so, you know, you're
Yeah.
used to a bit of a hustle bustle there, but it's really, really quiet. So that's all very reassuring. For the month of May, we had a lot of moms switch from hospital birth to home birth.
Mm.
And so we haven't necessarily seen the trend continue through the summer, because I think a lot of people are feeling a little more optimistic with the numbers that are coming out right now.
Mhm.
That thing, and also we did put an article in the Driftwood saying how safe the hospital is. So that's been really helping too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Um, so you are also going to school to become a counselor.
Hmm.
So I thought we could also talk about just mental health during this time a little bit, and how um, what are some strategies from your perspective? This would apply to everyone. I mean, especially expectant parents, but everyone really, mental health across the board, to sort of weather the ups and downs of the unknown, the fear, the sadness that maybe comes up during this time.
Yeah. Well, for me, the big one has been to get outside. So that helps me right away. So getting out and moving. So riding my bike or going for a little walk or a little run. That's been really helpful. Trying not to watch too much of the media has been a big thing for me as well.
Mhm.
And then trying to just keep my life, like planning it so that there's things to do every day, so that I don't get kind of bogged down in I don't know, in the negativity.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. And aren't we lucky that we live on the West Coast where it's warm and sunny?
And then the other thing I've been doing, and I've been loving it, is I've been I try to reconnect to someone every other day that I haven't spoken to in a really long time.
I love that.
And I've connected to people I haven't talked to in years
Mm.
and had really great, really long conversations with them. So it's been really nice doing that,
Yeah.
because you really do have to reach out. I know people don't tend to reach out. They kind of just stop connecting. So if you make a point to reconnect, they're really happy to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is that something that happens within your system, your brain, your heart, whatever you want to think about. Um, when we make those connections, that's something that I've really appreciated about these videos is whether I'm interviewing people I've been friends with forever, or people that I'm just meeting on this call, that
Yeah.
idea of connecting and really um, knowing that you're not alone, and knowing that it is a human experience, a global experience right now, and being able to talk about some joyous things also, like bring some joy into your life in
Yeah.
a time of uncertainty, has been really valuable for me.
Yeah. Me too.
Great. Another thing with the sunshine that I noticed myself doing is literally like opening all my blinds and windows, like light, and like allowing that openness to happen
Yeah.
um, in my home as well. Um, so how do you see our wellness community, and specifically how it relates to midwifery, um, evolving through this, or sort of coming out the other side?
Well, I love this community because this community really tends to take care of each other. So that just tends to happen very organically here.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that since the beginning of this virus, just the people really coming together
Mm-hmm.
and doing whatever it takes. So my hope is that that's going to continue to happen um, for the entire community, that we're going to really take care of each other. Um, so that's I feel like that's something that we can do a lot easier in a smaller town than in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the one thing I've always appreciated about the Comox Valley.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's been my bigger thought is, I work as a midwife and I take care of a lot of uh, women and their families, but even I've been trying to think a little bit broader about how to help like the greater community as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I haven't come up with anything solid. I don't know, maybe you have, and I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on that. But it
Yeah.
is something important to me right now because I know people are struggling.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't. And also myself have been doing a lot of thinking about that. And, it goes back to what we already talked about, which is connection. I really feel like it does make a difference to connect
Yeah.
and not without any expectation that things are going to change right away. I think that's part of the hard part right now, is that we just don't know how things are going to unfold, and things change on a daily basis,
Yeah.
um, whether that be from the pandemic or just how we feel in our emotional
Hmm.
experience. So just that, really giving ourselves permission and giving other people permission, like, just to acknowledge, yeah, today is a sad day, happy day, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Permission to not have to do too much or carry on, or what, like whatever, just permission to feel whatever you're feeling today.
Very much.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to be negative some days, like even last week we had a very sobering week at work because my one of my practice partners, her family lives in the US,
Mm,
and her mother and her brother were both hospitalized with the virus.
mm,
So it became really, I mean, it was already real, but it became very real
yeah.
in that moment because, her brother was in the ICU and on a ventilator, and her
Yeah.
mom is older and has immunity issues. So there was this whole, this newfound feeling of, oh no, like what if her family, like what will we do for her,
Hmm.
knowing this could happen, and there's not much she'll be able to do in this moment in time because she's stuck here and she can't go there.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the first, I'd say that was the first few days where I could really feel the stress of it,
Hmm.
because it became very real in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some heavy times for sure right
uh,
now.
Thankfully they're
Yeah.
doing well from what I understand, so they're
Well, that's
getting
good.
better, which
Yeah.
also lifts up the mood a little bit
Mm.
too.
Yeah. See coming out of the other side is,
Yeah.
that's positive. So, we've talked we've talked about how things are different for new parents. How, I mean, we all love a new baby, and we all want to support those parents out there. How are some ways we can support new parents these days? Like, yeah, what are some practical things you think we could do? Where we would go, maybe sit with or visit or snuggle the baby before, or gifts, those kind of things. But
Yeah. Well, we had a mom, so one thing, this has happened well before this virus came to fruition, but we get these baskets, and I don't even know where these baskets come from. My office manager is the one who accepts them, and she knows where they come from and who
yeah.
distributes them. But basically, they're just baskets that are for new babies,
Hmm.
full of little thoughtful gifts, and we usually get, like, maybe 6 a year for the moms, and we
Yeah.
distribute them mostly to the moms that are more in need.
Hmm.
But now we've been saying, let's distribute them to the moms that we feel are now in more emotional need, like
Mm.
not necessarily financial need. Let's put the emotional need first
Mm.
for those moms. So
Yeah.
we've been kind of giving those out, and we don't have that many, but when I've noticed that as soon as we give them to someone, it just lightens up their whole day. They're just like, and it doesn't have to be like it. I don't think it has to be a big thing. I think it can be something so small, just even a
Yeah.
small kind gesture
Yeah.
of, like, here's something to. I mean, I know it must be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I had my son, I was a young parent, but when I had my son, a family friend gave me like a little notebook, and it was like, it was actually written by my mom, with like all these new parent tips, which were kind of funny, right? Like, and then she gave them to her friend when she had her babies, and then her friend gave them to me when I had my babies. And I remember, like, it was just scribbles in a notebook of these little tips But I remember it being like, oh, same thing, like, oh, someone else. Like you can feel very isolated or alone, or like you're the only one going through something. And just those little tidbits of thoughtfulness. Someone's thinking about you and someone else has made it through.
Yeah.
You can do this too, those
Yeah.
little thoughtful things is great. If somebody wanted to find out more about those baskets, could they call your office manager?
Yeah, they can call my office manager for sure. Yeah. And I can't even find out from her where they come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be a good way, if people felt like they wanted to reach out or contribute to that in some way, they could find out more information through your office.
Yeah.
Which leads me to, where can we find you?
So our office is on 4th Street.
Mhm.
It's right downtown Courtney at 544 4th Street. It's a cute little blue house. So that's why we called it Cedar House Midwives, because it just kind of suited the whole look of the actual house that we work out of.
Nice.
And yeah, and that we people can email our email is info@cedarhousemidwives.com, or they can call us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing walk-ins right now, right? It's all, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to see our patients less. So we're doing a lot of phone calls, or we'll do FaceTime. And we are, like, we still have to see our patients. We're just trying to
Yes.
space the visits so that we're
Mhm.
not seeing them as much. And then we only see one person at a time. So only one person can be in the office at a time. And our office manager works from home now.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just the mom and the midwife and the baby if the baby is born, but no
Right.
family members.
Yeah. Well, that sounds reasonable and safe.
Yeah.
And then do you have one tip that you would like to impart on us before we say goodbye?
One tip.
Something for body, mind, or soul. Just something,
Yeah.
little
Just,
takeaway.
I think that my tip is that try to put something happy in your day if you can, and keep it simple. Keep it really, really simple. Like if it means just going for a walk, go for a walk. If it playing in your garden, reading a positive book, watching a positive show, just try to keep it so that you're not focused on the dark or the negative, something that can keep you kind of in the here and now.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today and connecting.
Yeah.
Been lovely to hear what you get up to when you're not in Pilates.
I can't wait till we get to do Pilates.
I know.
I really miss it. I was, even before you reached out, I was like, I really miss my Pilates class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I miss everybody too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Excellent.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you soon.
Okay. Bye,
Yeah.
Rachel.
Bye.